The questions in this case are as fascinating as the answers sometimes. I want to put up this series of texts, again, addressing how extensive this network was. Now, to be clear, this is not a Strzok Page text. Peter Strzok is the lead investigator. Lisa Page is FBI girlfriend lawyer, both involved in the investigation of Trump. This is an Andrew McCabe Lisa Page text. Texts that have kind of ridden under the surface for a while. Andrew McCabe is the deputy director of the FBI, basically the operational head involved in this spying operation on the Trump campaign. He's been texting Lisa Page too. And this mid-November exchange is mind-blowing. Throw that up on the screen here. I want to get to this. I want you to follow this very closely. So, Lisa Page texts Andy McCabe. And she says, and some of this is redacted. So when I say redacted, obviously that means redacted, not that redacted is a word in the text. I actually got an email about that once, shockingly. Page, I tried sending an email to redacted, but it bounced back. Remember, she's texting Andy McCabe. Are you still getting the redacted emails? DAG inquired. She's talking about the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein at the time. The DAG inquired about our plan that FISA target, if he mobilizes, given the physical access he has. Let me know if you got the email I forwarded from Tash, probably talking about Tashina Guahar. Forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong, but she's a higher up in the FBI involved in this too. Interestingly enough, in another text exchange down, Page texts Andy McCabe and says, by the way, Jim Clapper told Pete, talking about Peter Strzok, that he, Clapper, was meeting with Brennan and Cohen for dinner tonight. Just FYSA. It means for your situational awareness. So keep that up a second. Put that back. I want to point out one particular thing about this. So this is one of the lead lawyers on the case for the FBI, Lisa Page, texting the deputy director of the FBI, intimately involved, obviously, in the operation to investigate the Trump campaign and spy on them. She says that Rosenstein's inquiring about our plan about a FISA target.
Yeah.
Who's the FISA target, Joe? And if he mobilizes, given the physical access he has. Now, a couple of points here. Again, hat tip 279 is always good with this stuff. We have been kicking this around, me and him, for a long time. I'll be honest with you, folks. I had assumed that this FISA target they're talking about with physical access was Flynn, General Mike Flynn. Mm-hmm. Who else would they be talking about who has physical access, and physical access to what? If he mobilizes. I had assumed it was, and it could be, but some new information's come to light I want to put out there that makes me believe it could be someone else. Again, when we don't know, I crowdsource my audience, but the questions in this case are as fascinating as the answers sometimes. If he mobilizes, could be a reference to Flynn being appointed National Security Advisor and being granted physical access to the House, to the White House.
Right.
But there's something fascinating. Someone, let's say, pointed out to me that we kind of discovered this morning while going through this. Go back through those texts. And I want you to look at a text from the day before where the access question comes up again. But in context of who, folks? This is going to bake your bagels, man. This text from the day before, that text was November 18th. This is a text from November 17th, the day before. Liberals, I know you have a tough time with math and stuff, but the 17th is before the 18th. So here's a photo of a text exchange between Lisa Page, same FBI lawyer. She was emailing McCabe or texting McCabe. The day before, she's texting her boyfriend, the lead investigator on this case, FBI agent Peter Strzok, who's investigating Trump. This is a fascinating exchange. They're talking about the president-elect at the time. This is November. He's not sworn in, obviously, until January 2017. Oh, excuse me. This is November 2016. So he's the president-elect. They say, and the reason he wanted clearances for the kids, talking about Trump, is so Jared Kushner could receive the presidential daily brief with him. Legally, I think he can pretty much designate. He says, designate whoever he wants to receive it without a clearance. Article today is saying none of that's going to happen. They say again, they responded to each other back. I know he backed off of clearances, but there was another legal piece looking at his authority to just grant access. And it's pretty broad. He doesn't, and yes. Where are we going with this? Just throw it out there, Dan. Were they spying on Kushner, too? The president's son-in-law? The husband of Ivanka Trump? Folks, I had always assumed that was Flynn. We had not concluded I don't know. But in light of what we now know on the IG report, where Horowitz is stating the only FISA was on page related to Crossfire Hurricane, that's important. Does that FISA target text mean that they were targeting someone and didn't get a FISA? Or does that mean there's a FISA out there on someone else that we don't know about and Horowitz doesn't know about either? And was that FISA target the president's son-in-law? Oh, boy.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.